This AMD APU is beating Nvidia GPUs and the gaming industry is very angry with Intel and more in this fresh new episode of the TD News show. So let's talk about it. But before talking about that, do you know that Seasonic just revealed a key details about Nvidia's upcoming RTX 5000 series GPUs? On Seasonic website, there is a feature called PSU calculator where by putting your hardware configuration, you will be able to know how much wattage does your system need. And in that database, Seasonic recently added some new GPUs, which includes RTX 5000 series GPUs. And according to that, the RTX 5090 will be 500 watts TDP, which is 50 watts more compared to the current 4090. And not only 5090, but the 5080 is rated at 350 watts, which is 30 watts increase. The 5070 is 220 watts, which is a 20 watt increase. And the 5060 is 170 watts, which is a 55 watt increase. And they also listed RTX 550. If you haven't guessed by now, Nvidia presumably has killed the 50 series, at least when it comes to dedicated desktop GPUs. Yes, on mobile side they are still launching 50 series, but the last 50 series we got our hands onto as a dedicated GPU, it was with 3050. And I also think that these listings are just placeholder and they might or might not reflect the actual specs. And they also listed some new Radeon GPUs, which include RX 7990 XTX, RX 7950 XTX, and a RX 7950 XT. And according to leaks, AMD is not going to compete in the higher end of the GPU market for their upcoming generation. I don't think that AMD is going to call their next generation GPUs 7000 XTX or something like that. We also got some leaks about Nvidia's new variant of 50 series GPUs. No, not Super, not Ti. D. Only made for Chinese market because of US sanctions. Nvidia cannot sell their high-end 4090s to the Chinese market. And that's the reason they cut down 4090 by 10 to 11% and reintroduce the 4090 with the D model. And according to these leaks, Nvidia is going to launch their 50 series D GPUs to Chinese market at the first quarter of 2025, and this makes me think that right now I'm sure that we are going to see an Nvidia event which is going to happen at least at the end of September or very early October, where they're gonna announce the 50 series GPUs and you will be able to buy those GPUs around December, which is the peak holiday season. And now we have a bunch of AMD news to talk about because they recently held an event that nobody really knew about. Like, honestly, I check news every single day. I go on a bunch of websites to see what's happening with the tech industry, and nowhere it was mentioned that AMD is going to hold this event, or I have missed it. I don't know, I might have, but it was really low-key. But the things that they talked weren't low-key. Announced that the AM5 platform going to feature new GISA firmware, which will let AM5 platform to support a DDR5 8000 memory and also on-the-fly memory overclocking. Not only that, they also introduced a curve sharper tool which will allow your 9000 series CPUs to be better optimized when you are overclocking or undervolting. The company also confirmed July 31st to be the launch date of Ryzen 9000 series CPUs, but they haven't confirmed the price. They also tweaked the 9700X, which is now 12% faster compared to 5800X 3D and 2% faster compared to 7800X 3D. But the main event was about their Strix Point CPU featuring RDNA 3.5 GPUs, aka 800M iGPUs, with twice texture sampler rate, twice the interpolation and comparison rate, and better memory management. This simply means that it is 19 to 32% faster compared to 700M GPUs at 15 watt, 36% faster compared to Intel's 140V iGPU, and it also beats the GTX 1650 on Geekbench. On the other hand, a Redditor recently posted a picture of a 97 1100X box is just a picture of the box. It doesn't include the price, it doesn't include where the location is the picture was taken, or AMD already started sending these CPUs to offline retailers or online retailers for stock purposes. And now let's talk about a very interesting topic. New X Elite CPUs aren't elite. On a recent tweet from Mark Software, developers of a popular benchmark has said that in last 30 days, they have gotten 22,000 benchmark submission from x86 based computers. On the other hand, they have only gotten 56 benchmark submission of Snapdragon X Elite or ARM-based CPUs. Doesn't reflect the real-world scenario or the adoption of X Elite hardware, because I'm sure not every single user is benchmarking their hardware every day or even at all. For a bunch of users, they got their laptop and they start working on it. That's it. They don't bother benchmarking it because they are not gonna make a video about it, post it on YouTube. But that also doesn't mean these X Elite laptops are selling like hotcakes, because they are not. First, they are expensive. Most of the good looking and good X Elite laptops are close to $1,000 or even more than $1,000. So the barrier of entry is very high. And next is that in that same price, you'll be able to buy other laptops which in some scenarios performs better than the Snapdragon X Elite laptop. The big thing that the Snapdragon X Elite laptop has in its way is that it has amazing battery life, but majority of the things feels like it's a first generation product. And a lot of people might think that this is a first generation product, but this is not. This is the fourth attempt of Qualcomm entering into the Windows market. But the problem with Qualcomm entering into the Windows market is that the Windows market is saturated, has a diverse set of users. Some users only work, no play. Some only play, no work. Some works as hard and plays much more harder. And the biggest thing that the Windows X Elite CPUs or the Snapdragon X Elite SoCs doesn't have in their favor, and that is their GPU performance. A lot of games doesn't run on these hardware or this particular hardware. Even the games that run it doesn't perform that good. The reason Apple is so successful with their ARM-based SoCs because most Apple users work on their system. They don't play games. Most Apple hardware used professionally or creatively, and Apple has the advantage of the whole vertical integration. And I'm also going to make a separate video talking about why these Snapdragon X Elite SoCs have failed. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel because that video is coming soon. And until then, enjoy some quick and snappy quick news. Game devs are complaining about Intel CPUs. Some are switching their complete servers from Intel to AMD. Some are saying 13 and 14 gen chips from Intel has seen 100% crash rate, and some saying 80% of the time their game are crashing on Intel's overclockable i9 CPUs. Apple training their AI model on YouTube content include MKBHD's video without consent. Intel's next CPUs might even run hotter compared to current ones according to reports. A Noctua responds by issuing full refund against rattling noise complaint affecting their new NHD 15G2 air cooler. So that was it for today's techie stuff, and if you want to know more about any of the stories, all the links are linked down in the description, so don't forget to check them out. And I'm not going to do any entertainment news or any other news because I have a serious headache. The whole day I have been facing this headache, but I have to make this video because I haven't made a video in a long time. So I'm sorry if this video is not up to the mark, or I rambled, or I haven't been able to put my 100% in the video. I'm really sorry for 1 or 2 people who watches my video. I really appreciate you guys, but if you want to like this video, hit the like button. If you don't, well, feel free to do it. And if you want to watch more videos from us, check out this video right here. And if you want to subscribe, well, do it by here. And there's Akash. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.